होमज्ञानतिमन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पाञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेषु भिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 5, verse number 1. So in the previous chapter, we read about Krishna's appearance, which was in third chapter, then the prayers, and then how he was transferred to Gokula. And then Yogamaya was brought back, and then she appeared into the sky and made the prediction that Kamsa's killer has taken birth somewhere. So then Kamsa had a meeting with his ministers, and they decided to kill all the newborn babies in Braj area. So that's how the previous chapter ended, and of course there was this nice sloka, Ayushri Balam Lokanashasha evacha. So Hanti Shreyansi Sarvani Punsho Mahadatikrama. that by making an offense to great devotees or great personalities, one loses one's life, wealth, fame, and piety. So now Sukadeva Goswami shifts his focus on Braj, because wherever there is Krishna, that's where he is focusing. So Krishna moved from Mathura to Braja, and now he is going to explain the activities of Krishna in Braja. So Sri Shuka Vacha Nandastvatmaja utpanne jatalhado mahamanaha ahuya vipran vedajyan snate suchiralankrita. So Sri Sukadeva Goswami said that Nanda Maharaj, when he heard or got the news that his son has been born to him, then that great personality, he was very happy, Jata Ahlada. So son was born, and to him Ahlad was born. And Ahuya Vipran Vedajyan Snatah Suchir Alankrita. So he called the Brahmanas for doing the Jat Karma Samskara, or the ceremony which is performed at the birth of a child. And he bathed himself and dressed nicely. So dress is important also. Veshena, Vapusa, Vacha, Vidya Vinyena cha Panchbhir Vakaro Yukta Punsa Loke Mahiyate. So if you are having 5 Vakaras, and in Harinamamrita Vyakaran there will be Varamas. So 5 words which are beginning with Va. So first is Vesha, means dress, to dress nicely. Vapu, Vapu means body. Vapusa, Veshena Vapusa means good body. And third is speech, Vacha, so sweet words. Fourth is Vidyaya, good education. Fifth is Vinayena, humility. So each increasingly difficult. Dress is the easiest thing, so that comes the first. Vinaya is the most difficult, that comes last. So these 5 vakaras if one has, then one is honored in the society. Panchbhir makaro yukta jano loke mahiyate. So therefore here it is said Suchir Alankrita. So he took bath, that's for the body, dressed up nicely, and his Vidya, Vacha, Vinaya, all these qualities are there in Nanda Maharaj. So Vachitya Swastiyanam Jata Karmatmajasya Vai Karya Masa Vidvat Pitri Devarchanam Tatha. So he called the Brahmanas, because it was said Ahuya Vipran Vedajyan. What type of Vipras? Who are knower of the Vedas. And Veda here means especially recitation, which mantra has to be recited at which ceremony. So therefore Vachitya Swastiyanam, he made them recite Swasti. So auspicious chanting of the mantras. And Jat Karmatmajasya Vai, and perform the Jat Karma ceremony of when child is born. Karya Masa, he made them do it. Vidhivat, as per the injunction of Purvamimamsa. And Pitri Devarchanam Tatha, and also did worship of the Pitrus and Devas. So this is compulsory. 5 types of rin are there, 5 types of debt. So one of them is Pitrurin, Devrin, Rishirin, Nirrin, Bhutrin. So he did all of that now because he will also give charity. So that is what he performed. So this is a very nice sloka because it also mentions here that Krishna was born to Nanda Maharaj also. Because it says Nandastu Atmaja Utpanne. Atmaja Utpanne. So Atmaja means one who is born to oneself, born from one's own self, one's own body. So he was born, and when he was born, then Alhad or happiness or bliss was born to Nanda Maharaj. So Jata Alhada. There are two things which are born. One is sun, other is bliss. Together they come. So that's why he is called Nanda. Gives happiness, opulence. So Krishna Janmotsavo Datum Karam Sri Mathuragama Nandasya Vasudevena Sanlapaha Panchame Bhavat. So he says in this 5th chapter, this is what is being described. First, there is a description of festival of Krishna's birth. Then there is a description that he went to Mathura to pay taxes to Kamsa. And there is also talk or description of a dialogue between Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva. So this is the subject matter which will come here. So Nanda tu karene Vasudeva Atmaja Utpanno Jata Lado api Kams Bhayat Sankuchit Mana Jat Karmadik Kartum Ne Prabhut. So in this sloka, the word tu is used, Nanda tu. So tu is bhinna prakarna, change of topic to differentiate. So he says here the word tu distinguishes the action of Nanda Maharaj from Vasudeva. So Krishna was born to both of them, to Nanda Maharaj and also to Vasudeva. But there is a difference because Vasudeva was not able to perform the Jat Karma ceremony. Although he was also happy. So just as Nanda Maharaj is called here as Jata Alhada, or who was blissful. So he says Vasudeva was also happy. He was also Jata Alhada. But what is the difference between them? It says Atmaja Utpanne, the son was born to both of them. But out of fear of Kamsa, he was not able to perform the ceremony. So that is the difference. Nandastu Atmaja Utpanne Jata Lado Mahamana Ati Vismitmana. So in case of Vasudeva, he was not Mahamana. He is taking the meaning of the word Mahamana as means his heart expanded. But in case of Vasudeva, he was although happy, but he was also fearing Kamsa. And when you have fear, then your heart does not bloom. Right? You remain sankuchita, contracted in your heart. So that is the difference between Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj did not have any fear like that as Vasudeva had. So therefore it says Ati Vismita Mana, that he was full of happiness, full of surprise also. So Swasti Vachana Purvakam Jata Karma Karyamas. So he made the Brahmanas do Swasti Vachan. So Swasti no Indra Brihachrava, the famous mantra. So it is often recited that let there be Swasti. Swasti means auspiciousness. So he made them Swasti Vachan. Vachan means to recite and then perform the Jat Karma. Iti Tukaradeve etan matre Vasudevad bhede praptam Nanda grihe api Krishnasya utpatti Sriman Munindra abhipreta avgamyate. So he says that in this way the word tu is making the distinction between Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva. So this also shows that Krishna was born to him also. So Nanda grihe api Krishnasya utpatti Sriman Munindra abhipreta avgamyate. So he says that Sukadeva Goswami has this intention to say this, that Krishna was also born to Nanda Maharaj. But he does not state it very clearly. So in other commentaries of Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, it is explained that the reason for this was that he is speaking Bhagavatam to King Parikshit. Parikshit is grandson of Arjuna. Arjuna is related to Vasudeva, right? Vasudeva is his uncle. So also Krishna's sister was married to Arjuna, and this sister is from Vasudeva, not from Nanda Maharaj. So Parikshit's relationship is to Vasudeva, not to Nanda Maharaj. He is a Kshatriya. So naturally he doesn't want to tell to Parikshit that Krishna was born to Nanda Maharaj. So he is only saying that he was born to Vasudeva, so that Parikshit is happy that Krishna is our relative. If he is born to Nanda Maharaj, then Nanda Maharaj, he has no relationship with him. So therefore they explain that he doesn't speak it very clearly, but he cannot also completely contain it. So therefore he says Nandastu Atmaja Utpanne Jatalhado Mahamana. So there are indirect references of Krishna's taking birth from Nanda Maharaj. In Bhagavatam there is no clear statement. Maybe this is the clearest statement if anyone has to see Nandastu Atmaja, because the word Atmaja is used for one's own son. Although one can argue that when Yogamaya flew away into the sky, then there it is she is described as also Atmaja of Vasudeva, although she was not born. So, but in general the word Atmaja is used for one's own son, Nandastu Atmaja Utpanne. So it is more clear statement in that sense than any other sense. Garbhakale tva sampurne iti purvokta vaisampayana sammatapi. So earlier there was also a statement from Harivansh Purana which was cited here that when Devaki was pregnant, Yashoda was also pregnant. So he says this is also accepted by sage Vaisampayana that Krishna was born. Nacha tukaro artha atra padpurna artha iti vachyam. So one can say, while tu does not have that kind of significance, because tu is used in the sense of making a distinction. And distinction, what he is making the distinction here is that Krishna was born to Vasudeva and Krishna was born to Nanda Maharaj. But it is Nanda Maharaj who did the Jat Karma Samskara, not Vasudeva. In that sense, he is taking the word tu. So by this tu, he is trying to prove that Krishna was also born to Nanda Maharaj. So just like Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So here also Nandastu Atmaja Utpanna. So tu, sometimes tu is used in Padapuran, just completing the meter of the verse. If some one matra is missing, then you use this word tu, cha, he, va. Sometimes they are used just like fillers. They are not really needed, but just to complete the meter they are used. So he says, don't say that this tu here has been used only to complete the meter. He says if there was anything like this, he could have said Nanda Atmaja Utpanno Jata Lado Mahavana. There was no need of tu. Could have said Nanda because there is a visarga there. Then Atmaja. So tu is not adding an extra syllable or phoneme, but has its own significance. So even if you remove tu, still it gives the same sense. Still the meter is complete, and therefore you cannot say that tu has been used to complete the meter. So therefore it says Nanda Atmaja Utpanno Jatalhado Mahamana iti vinapi tukarena padpurte. Without tu also it's okay. Nacha tadapi tukaro anarthaka eva. Then you cannot also say that this tu is just worthless, meaningless, doesn't convey anything. So he says that's not true. Atmano jata atmaja tasmin niti janu dhatu priyogad eva abhipsit siddhariti vachyam. Upguhya atmajam evam iti atra anarasapatyepi atmaja sabda priyogat. So then someone says that, well, the tukara is anarthaka, it doesn't convey anything extra, because atmaja, atmano jata, atmaja tasminiti janu dhatu priyogat. So atmaja means born from the one's own body. Really speaking, atmaja means, atma means body here, and son is born from one's own body, so therefore it means atmaja. So jani dhatu prayoga deva abhipsita siddhariti vachyam. So then he says that why are you bringing this, giving so much importance to the word tu? Because the sense which you are trying to carry, that tu signifies that Krishna was born to Vasudeva and he was also born to Nanda Maharaj. That is the significance of tu. But Nanda Maharaj did the Jat Karma ceremony, which Vasudeva was not able to do. So he says if you want to say that he was born from Nanda Maharaj, that meaning is coming from the word Atmaja itself. So therefore tu doesn't have any significance. So then he says that that's not true, because earlier in the previous chapter the word Atmaja was used for Yogamaya in relationship with Devaki. Upguhya Atmajam evam. When Kamsa heard the news that a child is born, and then he came running and he was trying to snatch the baby from the arms of Devaki. So there it says Upguhya Atmajam evam rudatya dina dinavat yachitastam vinirbhatsya hastadavichide khala. So there the word Atmaja has been used for Yogamaya in relationship to Devaki. That Devaki was trying to hold on to her Atmaja. But we know that at least from the story itself that Yogamaya was not born to Devaki. She was born to Yashoda, and Vasudeva exchanged her with Krishna, who was born to them. But even for her, the word Atmaja has been used. So that's why tu is important. Get the hang of it now, what he is trying to say. He says if you don't have tu, then somebody can say that Atmaja here has been used for Krishna, although he was not born to him, just as Atmaja was used for Yogamaya as daughter of Devaki, although she was not born to Devaki. Once someone can give an explanation like that, but when you use the word tu, then you cannot give that explanation. So tu is carrying an important sense here. So that's what he says. So nacha tadapi tukaro anarthaka eva atmano jata atmajas tasminiti jani dhatu prayogadeva vishpissit siddhi. This is the Purva Paksha. That tu is anarthaka, tu is meaningless, because in Atmaja the jani pradurbhave dhatu is there. It means jan means to take birth. So Atmaja, the word Atmaja is born from that, means he was born. So why you are bringing tu here? No need, it's anarthaka. So there are two objections raised to tu. One is that it is only for Padapurana, for completing the meter. So he says no, it does not do anything to the meter. And second, he says that it is meaningless, and he says no, it is not meaningless. Okay. So iti atra anarasa patye api atmaja shabda prayogat. So here upguhya atmajam evam, the word atmaja has been used for Devaki's daughter, although she was not born to her. In the same sense, the word atmaja can be used for Krishna, although not born to Nanda Maharaj. So is it clear? Kincha nadi chednat purvameva jat karma upkrama atra shravanat nadi chedascha garbhajatvam vina katham sambhavet. So there is this principle that nadi chednat purvameva jat karmopkrama shravanat. When child is born, then they have this what is called umbilical cord, so that has to be cut. So before the umbilical cord is cut, then you have to start the Jat Karma Samskar. Nadi Chedat Purvamev. Before that, Jat Karma Upkrama Shravanat. And Nadi Chedan is possible only if somebody is born. Right? So it is said that for the father, because there are two types of ashaucha. One is called janana ashaucha, other is called marana ashaucha, or a period of impurity after birth or after death. Both bring impurity. So for the father, the impurity period begins after umbilical cord is cut, not before that. So therefore he says, because he did the Jat Karma Samskara, so that means all this time there was no Nadi Chedan or what? Krishna's umbilical cord was not cut all this time. He was born at night till morning. When Nanda Maharaj got the news, then he is doing all this Jat Karma Samskara. But in any case, he says that Jat Karma Samskara is performed, and that is only possible if there was a Nadi Chedan. If there is no Nadi Chedan, then where is the Jat Karma Samskara? Therefore he must be born. If he was brought from Gokul, then his umbilical cord is already cut. Right? It's a technical point. You have to know Smriti for this. So that's what he says. Kincha nadi chedat purvam eva jat karma upkrama shravanat nadi chedastha garbhajatvam vina katham sambhavet. Kincha krishnasya nanda putratve khalu naikdha prayoga. Moreover, it is not only once that it is mentioned that Krishna was born to Nanda Maharaj. He says there are more than one references to that, which he is going to now recite here or refer to. Yes. Bolo.
Babaji Maharaj, the question which was coming is that earlier it was described that Devaki, there was first Vishnu ji appeared with all this paraphernalia, and then he became smaller, and then it became a Shishu like this thing. So, what is I'm not able to understand how this Jat Karam will be applicable here, because if he is appearing like that, then that means he was born with all clothes and everything. So where is the point of cutting the umbilical cord?
No, that is not to Nanda Maharaj, that was to Vasudev.
No, that's what I'm saying, Vasudev. So the point which was coming is कि if he is not born to Nanda Maharaj, so then that would not. So I get that. Matlab at Nand Maharaj the ceremony was there, but Vasudev didn't have that.
Yeah.
So that means he was born without, just appeared.
Without strings attached. Right? That's why he could leave. If he was born with an umbilical cord, he would not be able to leave. Then you have to cut it. Who was going to cut there? They both were in handcuffs. So therefore he made it easy for them. No umbilical cord. I am coming with no strings attached. So what is your question?
When he was brought from the jail to Nanda Maharaj.
Yeah, but one boy was already there.
Yeah, but because he fell, no? When he fell into Yamuna.
Yeah.
The explanation was that Krishna never leaves Nanda. Okay? So then there is this.
So he can take two bodies. What is the problem?
Okay.
He can expand.
Different Krishnas.
Even if he was Krishna, then when he brought, there was already one there.
They joined together? Or?
Yes. Because in Braj he has to do Nar Leela, just remember. His Shuddha Nar Leela, his pure human pastime is in Braj. Because there is no Aishwarya manifest here. Not that he does not have the Aishwarya, but it is not manifest. But here, there in Mathura, he was already to begin with, he showed his Aishwarya, came with 4 hands. So that's not a pure Narlila. But here in Braj, if it is pure Narlila, then he has to take birth. He has to have umbilical cord, he has to have a Jat Karma Sanskar, he has to have all that. So this happened only here, not anywhere else.
Is he actually saying
There is that.
no?
Okay.
Is he actually saying if this Nandas to that Krishna is only born to Nanda Maharaj and to nobody else?
No, the way he is explaining is that he was born to Vasudeva and he was born to Nanda Maharaj also. But two is to make a distinction that Vasudeva did not do the Jat Karma ceremony, the birth ceremony, Nanda Maharaj did it. Because to say that he was only born to him and not to, that will be a big problem, because it's described he was born in the prison.
Yeah, but forearms.
Yeah, but he's also Krishna. So he's not denying that. So therefore he's not taking the sense of tu, that he was born only to him and not there. But tu he is applying to Jat Karma. Because he says that Vachitya Swastyanam Jat Karma Atmajasya Vai. That it is Nanda Maharaj only who did the Jat Karma, not Vasudeva. Although he was born to both of them. That's how he is explaining it. So now he says that this is not the only place that there is a mention of Krishna taking birth from Nanda Maharaj, but there are other places also and he refers to them. Kintu bahava eva nate sarva eva amukhyartho bhavitum arhanti. And you cannot say that they all have secondary meaning, because you are saying, well, this is just a way of saying it. Its real meaning is that he was born to Vasudeva. So he says there are Adrishyata Anuja Vishnu, Srimad Bhagavatam 10.4.9. So there, when the girl went up in the sky, right? So there she is called as Anuja of Vishnu, means of Krishna. She is called there as younger sister of Krishna. So how can be, and the word used is Anuja, same Jani Pradurbhave Dhatu, means who was born after, younger sister, who was born after Krishna was born. So she can be called Anuja only if Krishna was also born to Nanda Maharaj. Right? Otherwise, how she became Anuja? If it was only she who was born to Nanda Maharaj and Krishna was born only to Vasudeva, then she cannot be the sister of Krishna, younger sister, Anuja. She can be called Anuja only if Krishna was also born there. So therefore he says Adrishyata Anuja Vishnu. This just came in the previous sloka. And Pragayam Vasudevasya Kochit Jatastavatmaja. Then when Gargacharya came to do the name giving ceremony to Krishna and Balaram, so then he says that Kochit Pragayam Vasudevasya Kochit Jatastavatmaja. So he says that your Atmaja, your son, was sometimes born to Vasudeva also. So there also the word Atmaja is used by Gargacharya. He is a Jyotisacharya. He would have seen this by the chart, that this is not born to you. If he was able to figure it out by seeing the chart that he was born to Vasudeva also, then he would also know that he is not born to you. Then Brahma in his prayers 14th chapter, Nomidyate Abrabapuse Tadidambaraya Gunjavatansa Paripricha Lasan Mukhaya. Right? So there he uses the word Pasupangajaya. So Pasupangaja, Pasu means animal or cows, and Pasupa means cowherd man, and Anga means body, and Ja means born, one who is born to Nanda Maharaj. So Brahma also says this, Pasupangajaya. So that means he has taken birth from him. So Dehinam Gopika Sutta. Then in the 9th chapter, that Dambandhan Leela. So there also Sukadeva clearly says that he is son of Gopi, that nobody has got this mercy. Nayam Sukhapo Bhagavan Dehinam Gopika Sutta. Jani Nam Chatam Bhutanam Yatha Bhakti Matame. So he is called, Sukadeva Goswami calls Krishna as Gopika Sutta, son of Gopi. So Sukadeva Goswami, Brahma, Gargacharya, they are not confused people. They are not ignorant people. They are Apta Purushas. So their words cannot be false, wrong. So these are 3 statements which he refers from Bhagavatam itself. Then he goes to Gautamiya Tantra. Gautamiya Ballavi Nandanam Vande iti Kram Deepikayam. So Ballavi Nandanam, this is from Gautamiya Tantra. Krishna is called son of Gopika. And then Kram Deepika also says Devata Sakal Loka Mangalo Nanda Gopataniya Samirita iti mantre api Nanda Putra Padam Nyantam ityade. So in Kram Deepika also Krishna is called as Nanda Gopatanaya. So son of Nanda Maharaj. And Nanda Putra Padam Nyantam. Again, Chaturthi Vibhakti, this is the way the mantras are described, means Nanda Nandanaya or Nanda Putraya. Kechittu Krishnasya Vasudeva Putratva Vijasakhatva Rukmanikantatva Adibhyo api Prema Mishra Sambandha Mulkebhya Sakashat Nanda Putratva Subal Sakhatva Gopi Kantatvani Premaika Mulkani Krishnasya Nandadi Ati Vashyatva Vyanjakani Vanjak Anya Arth Vachan Parashatena Mahanubhav Sahasranubhavena Cha Paramotkrishtani Iti Atas Tadrish Bhava Tartamyeneva Tattad Tattad Vyapadesha Tartamyam Anyatha Varaha Devasya Brahmaputratvam Krishnasya cha Uttaragarbhatatvena Uttaraputratvam api prasiddhyetiti bruvana Yashoda Garbhajatatva bhavam eva Swabhishta sadhakam manyante. So now some people give an explanation like this. So he says that Krishna is called Vasudeva Putra. Vijaya Sakhatva is called Arjuna's friend. Vijaya Sakha Kutumbe. Bhishma in his prayers in the first canto calls this friend of Vijaya. So Vijaya is name of Arjuna. Then Rukmani Kanta is called the husband of Rukmani. So Rukmani Kantatvadibhyo api Prema Mishra Sambandha Mulkebhya Sakashat. So he says that these relationships which are mentioned here, 3 relations. One is the Sakhya relationship, other is Vatsalya, and the third is Madhurya. So he says that there are prema mishra sambandha mulke. Their prema is mixed with Aishwarya. And superior to this we have Nanda Putratva and Subala Sakhatva, friend of Subala, and Gopi Kantatva, and lover of the gopis. So Premaika Mulkani, Krishna's. So he says that Krishna, basically what he is trying to say is Krishna is not anybody's husband or anybody's son or anybody. He is the source of everybody. But his relationship is based only on prema, love. Otherwise, he says that he was born from pillar in the assembly hall of Hiranyakashipu. But then he is not called as son of pillar just because he is born from there. Or he entered into the womb of Uttara to protect Parikshit. But he is not called son of Uttara because Uttara did not have any bhava like that. So he says that the relationship of Krishna is not just because he has taken birth or he has appeared somewhere. That is only his Leela. He says Varaha appeared from the nose of Brahma. But nobody says that Varahadev is son of Brahma. Why? Because Brahma did not have any feelings like that towards Varahadev. Narada Rishi appeared from Brahma, from his lap. Daksha appeared from his hand. And then many other sages appeared from his different parts of body. But he has a bhav towards them. Kumaras also appeared. So they are known as sons of Brahma. So why Varahadev is not considered as son of Brahma? Because Brahma does not have any such bhava towards Varahadev. So therefore what he is trying to say here, that the real relationship is not where one is born or not born. In the material world, yes, we have that, but in case of Krishna, the real relationship is who has the love in that particular relationship with him. So if somebody has a relationship of friendship with him, then he is his friend, husband, son. But if the bhav is not there, even if he goes inside womb of Uttara and comes out after protecting Parikshit, still he is not thought of as son of Uttara. So therefore, even if Krishna has not taken birth from Yashoda, and even if he is actually born from Devaki, it does not matter. Still his being son of Yashoda is valid because Yashoda have that bhav towards Krishna as mother of Krishna. And her bhav is more pure or more intense than the bhav of Devaki because Devaki's bhav is mixed with Aishwarya. Because she saw Krishna with 4 hands, she was praying to him, Rupamit Tat Prahu, right? So all the adjectives, Nirguna, Brahma, Jyotis, Nirvikaram, Anantam, Adyam, all these adjectives she used for Krishna. But Yashoda never used that because for Yashoda he is just her son. So therefore he says that some people they explain like this and they say that Yashoda Garbha Jatatva Bhava. He says we are not trying to interpret all these statements and then prove that Krishna was born from Yashoda. He says it doesn't matter. Let him not be born from there. He is Parama Ishvara, Parama Krishna, he is Sarveshwara, Parameshwara, from whom he is going to take birth. Who can be his mother or father or anything. So his mother or father is only out of love and not just because he has taken birth from them. So therefore it is immaterial whether he was born to Yashoda or not born to Yashoda. The important thing is that Yashoda has the mood of being mother of Krishna. That's the other scholars explain it like that. So although he made interpretations of Bhagavatam statements that Krishna is also born, but then he comes to this point, that even if he is born, but if the bhav is not there, that is not a relationship. In other words, the relationship is important not because of blood relation, but because of love relation, because of the bhav. If the bhav is there, then there is a relation. If bhav is not there, even if one is born or not born, no relation. Yes.
So in the part you just read, that was Prema Mishra Sampan, Prema Eka Mulaka was of the Brajavasis, and then the other people, it was Prema Mishra Sambandha Mulaka. Could you explain what Prema Mishra Sambandha?
Aishwarya means their prema is mixed with Aishwarya. It's not pure prema. Means they are thinking of Krishna, not Vasudeva and Devaki are thinking of Krishna as their son, but they also know that he is God. So therefore feeling of their love as a son is mixed with feeling of God. But Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj don't have that feeling.
So
Same with Arjuna. Right? He prayed to Krishna.
I think I'm wondering if this Prema Mishra Sambandha Mulaka is, the Prema is mixed with Sambandha, because then for the Brajavasis it says that it's Prema Eka Mulaka.
What does it mean prema is mixed with sambandha? What is sambandha?
I don't know, maybe some like blood relationship, could you explain? Or
Yeah, but what is that relation? No, that's not what it means. Any other question?
Babaji, can I ask a grammatical question?
Yes.
So in this words there is Mahamana, and the word manas is usually neuter, but here it's masculine, so it goes as mana. So my question is that by this logic, can any ending like akarant, akarant be in all three genders?
Can any what?
Can any ending like akarant, akarant, like any of them, can all of them be in all three genders, or?
No, it depends. It's not that every word can have all three genders. Here because
But what?
manas is not, manas has become gauna. See, manas is neutral gender sakaranta. But now when you are saying mahamana, then manas is not primary, it is a part of samas. Mahat plus manas. So now the meaning is not manas anymore. Now you are referring to Nanda Maharaj, not to manas. So its gender is going to match with, it has become a visheshana. So visheshavat ling vachanadini. Yo linga, yo vachana,
Ji Babaji,
right? So therefore it changes. So if
Ji
you are,
Babaji, but so
yeah, so visheshana will take the gender and of the visheshya, if vishesh, and therefore it can take all the genders. Just like you have Sundara, okay? Sundara Krishna, Sundaram Vanam, Sundari Radha. So it is a word is akaranta, but according to the visheshya, it will take its ending, it will change gender.
Babaji, the only reason I'm asking is because on some like declension engines, I've tried akarant words as pulling and it says it's invalid. So what if akarant appears as a visheshan to a pulling?
Then it will take this pulling only.
So how will the root of Akarant Pulling be?
You are saying Vaman or Dirgha?
It's Dirgha Padaji.
Yeah, so there is this Viswapa. There Viswapa, right? So there is a Viswapa which is Dirgha Akaranta. It will come in Harinamrita Vakaran. So that is masculine gender. Then it will take forms like that.
Thank you, Baba.
Purushottam Prabhu, you heard something?
Yeah, I heard it from Prabhupada Brahmachari. He is taking this verse and he says actually Krishna was born to Mother Yashoda and Ahlad was born to Nanda Maharaj.
Mm-hmm.
And when Krishna was born, he was looking for his Ahlad, and that Ahlad entered into the Radharani, so he was always searching for that Ahlad.
Yeah, that is his poetic explanation. This was one of his favorite story. I heard twice from him. He made a nice story just from this, because he was also poet. He wrote the whole Bhagavatam in Hindi poetry with singing. Yeah, he made the whole twist on this Jat Alhada. That Jat Alhada means that Nandastu Atmaja Utpanne, that Krishna was born to Nanda Maharaj, which means born to Yashoda, but Alhad was born to Nanda Maharaj. Means there was another person called Alhad. And that was born to Nanda Maharaj. Because it said Jat Alhado Mahamana. So he had the whole story made from that. So now this Alhada was always searching. And one day he makes a very nice interesting story. He saw Radharani and then he has a dialogue between them and then he merges into him. Okay, anything else?
Raji, I had a question.
Yes.
So we have these reading between the lines as far as Krishna's birth is concerned. So I assume that there is some other Purana where things are more explicit. Is it Padma Purana or somewhere where it's clearly mentioned that Krishna was born of Nanda, of Yashoda in addition to Devaki?
I think Harivansh Puran has some statement like that.
Okay. I mean, I was wondering because, in the Tattva Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami establishes Bhagavatam as the Praman. But then occasionally we have to take help from other Puranas to bring out the hidden messages of the Bhagavatam, I guess.
Yes. Well, the thing is that it is not important. Bhagavatam's intention is not that Krishna was born to Yashoda or not born. That's why what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, after saying that he was born, then he says, Kechittu, some speak like this. So this is what Bhagavatam is wanting to establish. Bhagavatam is not interested so much in making up this story. Stories are good, people like this kind of things and analysis. But then what? Okay, he is born to Yashoda and he is born to Devaki, so what do you learn from that? So Bhagavatam's intention is to establish prema, right? Dharma projita kaitavatra paramo nirmat saranam satam. That's what it wants to establish. And that principle is established more by not showing that Krishna is born to Yashoda. That point is established more properly or strongly by showing that he is not born, yet she loves him, and that's what Krishna left Mathura and went there because of her love. It is the love, right? So, aham bhakta paradhino asvatantra iva dvuja. Krishna says, or Vishnu says that I am under the control of my bhaktas. So that's what is showing. So you will say, well, Devaki is not a bhakta. Yes, she is, but now there is a comparison made between Devaki and Yashoda. So Yashoda is having more devotion, and therefore he leaves and goes there. This is what Bhagavatam's intention is. Story is there only for us to understand this point, but what they want to explain is this. That's what he was trying to explain, this. That Prem Mishra Sambandha and Prem Ek Mulaka Sambandha. So real Sambandha, therefore, he is from the Prema, not from taking birth. How does it matter whether he took birth or not birth? He took birth from Devaki, but he did not stay there. So is that important that he took birth? So that's what is being. But now from the point of view of the story and analyzing this is done, this also interests people. And then they say, look, Krishna was also born. And in the kathas, these are the type of stories which you will hear. People take more interest in that.
Thank you, Babaji.
Anything else? Okay.